This is the meeting of the Parking Authority. It's a regular meeting being held 7 p.m. Thursday, November 21st. It's being held in Independence Hall as well as a conference call bridge. And the time is 7:08.
Great. Thank you, Eileen. Greg and Jude, can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Well, first off, we're just calling to order to the meeting here. I know Eileen circulated the agenda. First item here is the approval of the October 24th meeting minutes. I know Eileen circulated them a couple days ago. I didn't have any comments to them. They were pretty straightforward. If there's no other edits or comments, I'll take a motion to approve them.
Okay, need a second?
Yeah.
I'll second. It's Mike.
Great. All in favor?
Aye.
Excellent. All right, so it was Mike and then Greg seconding it for the record.
Okay.
And next, I think there's a parking vote.
Yes, that's right. Okay, FY25 parking stats. The number of November parkers excluding Fridays has been pretty much as high as in September and October, which is good. The average number of parkers in September was 935, October 900, and November to date is 910. Those are the averages. Fairfield is averaging about 90% utilization if I exclude Fridays. If I include that, it goes way down. Southport is averaging 55%, which includes Trinity Lot, which is not filling up. The other day there was 10 people, so it's 5 to 10. And so that brings that number down, but the actual station parking proper, at the station has been almost full.
Yeah, I almost had to park on Mill Plain Road yesterday. I got there and it was, 9:30 in the morning, and I was looking for a spot.
I know.
Yeah.
It's
so
great.
We may have. I'm watching to see.
It's my first
I knew September, October would be busy. So now I'm watching November, December, and if need be, we may have to talk to the town about Mill Plain.
Oh.
The number of day parkers. Let me just go back. So the total November average utilization is 66% if you go across all the lots.
Got it. Both lots.
Yeah, three.
Yeah.
Trinity,
Trinity,
Southport, and and Fairfield.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't include Mill Plain because we don't have a contract for that.
Mm-hmm.
Day parkers in October, we had about 290 on average. And in November, the month-to-date daily average is 162, and the fiscal year daily average is 225. Permit stats, we have sold about 1,875 fiscal year to date. Fairfield's makes up 88% of that. This is 5% fewer than FY24, but I think as I've said before, I think we're going to be flat. Maybe, somewhere in that area. And this number is 15% fewer than pre-COVID days.
Clawing back or, flat isn't bad,
No, it's good. At least it's not dropping because the last couple of years it hasn't been dropping each year. The LPR was reinstalled and is in service. I provided training or refreshers to the specials. We have a couple of new specials who had never used the LPR. They were out there with the handhelds. So now I went out and showed them it's really quite simple. So they caught on really fast. And some of them just need a little refresher. But everything's going well with that. The section signs were delivered, and I talked with Public Works again, and they're going to try and get those posted in the next week or two.
That's great.
I'm having some line striping done for some of the spaces on the Fairfield eastbound side because it is so worn off that it's non-existent in some areas, and it's caused a lot of parking issues because if you don't see the lines, you tend to park a little further. So we've lost like 3-4 spots a day because people are parking further. So that's getting done. It's supposed to get done tomorrow. We'll see what happens with the weather. I've asked them to just do it on Fridays to minimize the impact, because Fridays, as you know, is very quiet, and if we close off those spaces, it's not gonna cause it's not gonna displace. Some people may have to park on the other side but usually on Fridays, that side is pretty empty, so I don't think we're gonna be displacing anybody. The HVAC began this week, and so they have a lift out there, you might have seen it.
Yeah.
They're bringing up a new furnace, and they are gonna then, once that's done, they will start doing all the duct work. They think it's gonna take about a week's time, because they have to do completely new duct work, and they're gonna put 3 different zones, and one for the coffee shop, one for the other rental space, and one for the waiting room. So there'll be 3 different zones, which then, same thing with the AC, because they all have different needs.
Who will control the temperature?
So they'll each get their own thermostat,
Okay.
and then they'll,
Can we pay for the?
we were, because it was all
Right.
on one. Now we'll have that ability to have it
Will
separately
we split
metered.
it so the coffee shop will pay for theirs, or?
Yeah, we can change that, we can do an amendment to their contract, showing that now it's separately metered.
Okay.
But that was the agreement we made with them for the first year.
Okay, all right, good.
Is the station house closed while they're doing work? Okay.
No, there's no impact at all, other than the fact that it might be a little chilly
Yep.
when they turn the furnace off. We gave space heaters to coffee shop and offered them to the other rental space, but they had their own, so they said that they would like to bring their own. And it's just for, probably a week's time.
Yeah, it hasn't been terrible, but.
No, fortunately, but it's cold, for the coffee shop, it's cold at 5 a.m. when they get in there. So they do have a heater now, and they can, once the sun comes in, that place, and between that and all the machines, it's not that so bad. But when they get in the morning, it's cold. So I think we tried to be caring of them and give them at least some space heaters that we had.
Good.
And that's it.
Should we just also mention, we got the first draft of the financials, for the audit. As everyone knows, the year end is June 30th, and finally got the first draft of the financials. And I think for the December meeting, we'll have a review amongst everybody, okay?
Right.
But early read is there's no surprises. But remember, this just takes a little while, just given the priorities. They do the town audit first, and we're part of it as well. But at least I wanted to post to everybody that the financials are in motion right now. So.
Okay.
Okay. That's good.
So next is the board nomination?
Yes. Next item here is just the board nomination. So, you want to take this, or you want me to?
Up to you. I can do it. So
Yeah.
every November, if there's a board position, a board role, I should say, that's available, then we would, would nominate people for that role or roles, and then in December you vote on it. So the open position is the chair. It's a 2-year term. Rich has been in it for a while. You're the vice chair, Mike. And so normally you would be the, person that would be considered, but if anyone else wanted to be chair, they could throw their name in the hat, or somebody else could nominate them, as well. And then in December, you guys would vote on who would be that person.
David's not on right now, right?
David's not on, but he will be here in December.
Okay. Well, it's hard to believe 2 years is up so quickly, but Eileen reminded me last month that she checked the record. And
Right.
2 years is up, so.
Your term with the board is still active.
I'm still around for the board.
It's just that position.
Right.
Sometimes we can have a finance person, but in your case, you're a finance person, so you kind of covered both roles.
Right.
There's other roles on the board that have kind of come and gone. Like sometimes there was a governance person, you know, it's just a matter of what you feel is critical to cover. And I think with, you have a board of 5, it's a little easier to, with all your different, with all your backgrounds, to kind of cover all those things without one person having to be the sole person on that. I mean, oftentimes, you know, you or David will weigh in on some items, and then Rich and Greg, for a lot of things, marketing, but also strategy and history. He's the one that's been with the board the longest. So you have to make a nomination, and so it's either Greg or you can nominate Mike.
Or not. I mean, I won't take offense if you don't.
I don't think you can nominate yourself.
Right.
I wouldn't be so bold.
Can we just for starters have Mike nominate himself just to see what happens?
He's very full of himself. No, but
I'm going to be the best board chair.
Exactly.
Don't capture that in the record.
But it's a formality, and you know, it's always good to have a succession plan. I think we already had this in motion, you know, about a year ago. You've been taking copious notes, Mike, and you know, so I'm not going anywhere. Greg, as far as I know, is still here, and so is David. And I think we still have some interested folks on the board side, like who want to join.
Can I ask a question? So just to understand what the commitment is, I think if I am so fortunate to be nominated by one of you two, just what is, in terms of, I mean, obviously these meetings, but I know that you spent some time during some days with Eileen, and I just want to make sure that I can.
Yeah, I mean, I would say there's preparation leading up to this meeting tonight. There's check-ins on ad hoc basis on variety of topics. So, you know, we've had a couple creep up through, you know, the last 2 years and then some, but, you know, it's not like I'm spending 40 hours outside of the last Thursday night, but there are times when we meet with, you know, town or leases and, but Eileen is obviously the face of the parking authority and does a wonderful job, but there are times that we will discuss, you know, matters, and if there's anything that needs to go to the board, we'll do the preparation work. So.
Yeah. I mean, it's
maybe an extra hour, you know, a month, I would say at best, you know.
Yeah.
But more importantly, you know, Eileen's got a great staff, but sometimes there's just items that we need to chat about.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, you run the meeting and you set the agenda.
And that first dinner that happens on the first formal, no, just kidding.
But yeah, sometimes there's just items that come up that Rich and I I'll bounce it off of Rich just to get his input, and also too, I want to just make sure he always knows what's going on, and then I'll repeat it, of course, at the board meeting. But, you know, sometimes something comes up, and we have had a couple leases that have come up. Now we're in a pretty good place. But, you know, we've met with the tenants that wanted a long-term lease and what to do. The other one-year leases, all of you guys have discussed it and decided on the rent and so on. And you decide on the rent for the longer ones too, but sometimes a meeting is helpful, you know, and you can go to, you know, it's kind of nice when they come to us, like when Naughty came here. You know, that makes it a little easier.
I didn't think it was too heavy of a lift, but I figured I'd just do some due diligence. Again, if I'm
still here.
So.
Can I make a request that before we nominate Mike, that we have Mike debate himself for a few minutes?
Wasn't that done in the presidential election? Not this. I don't know if you know this or not, but I was the board chair at the Valley United Way.
Oh yeah.
So I know the structure. I feel comfortable in that. I just want to make sure that whatever I commit to, I can,
Yeah.
do a bullseye, and, so, it's all good.
I mean, I try and take care of
Yeah.
all the daily operations and all of that kind of thing, so it's just more when some kind of issue comes up, but not like not like an issue like, oh, the opioid went down.
Yeah.
That's still daily operations, but more
Sounds
like
good.
the bigger things.
Yeah.
Yep.
So.
Good. So
So do we start the
somebody
debate now, or
want
do we start the,
Somebody wants
be
to
myself
make
and
a
I?
nomination?
I'll.
I'd like to nominate Mike.
Okay.
And I second
Thank you,
that.
Greg.
Greg, I second that.
do I have to formally accept?
No,
Okay.
that you do in December.
December.
When
Okay.
you learn,
In the
because
speech.
you never know.
Yeah,
correct.
Someone
They
might
could
be,
change their mind next month, right?
I have no skeletons like the former Attorney General nominee, so,
That was a short-lived one.
holy crap.
Then would we also, from my background, also then make a recommendation for a vice,
Well-
like have David?
If somebody wants,
Well,
I mean, not
I'm just-
everyone's here, but,
He still wants to be on, I hope he does,
Oh,
great,
yeah, he's said he's willing
Okay.
to help out and support any way that he can. But you could also then go back, since your background's not in finance, to have a finance officer. You could do that.
Yeah, okay.
We could look at the bylaws and just see if anyone wanted to take additional roles.
All right.
So we are down a board member,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, so the first selectman's office has a couple
Okay,
people, and, and then there was another person that came forward this week. I don't know if they've already made an offer to one of the earlier ones or not, but we do have some interest, so
Okay,
that's good.
good.
Yeah, because it would be helpful to have the
Yeah.
fifth,
Just over
because
now,
like with the,
vacation
Right.
and stuff.
it was a tough night for Greg, for David, and you'd still have the quorum.
Yep.
Okay.
So then officially change over in January
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. with the dinner.
Yeah.
At Posse.
A welcoming dinner.
Right.
We gotta bake
He's
that
on
into the
board.
lease, yeah, right.
He's on board with it.
Every 2 years in January, we will have an inauguration dinner. No, more like naughty Dolphin.
Yeah.
So now we're in adjournment.
Great, excellent. With that, I'll make a motion to adjourn the meeting tonight, and it's 7:26 PM. Gonna need someone to second it.
Second it?
That's Mike.
Mike?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right.